If you often replay conversations in your head days after they've happened, or if you find yourself analyzing every small detail of a situation long after it's over, this video is for you. Overthinking isn't a choice. It's not something you do because you want to. It's a pattern your mind has learned to follow, often without you even realizing it. And if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people experience this same cycle every single day. Overthinking is not a character flaw. It's not a sign that something is fundamentally wrong with you. It's a psychological response. And like all responses, it has a reason behind it. Understanding what overthinking looks like can help you recognize it more clearly in your own life. People who overthink tend to share certain traits. These aren't labels, they're observations, patterns that show up again and again. The first is mental replaying. People who overthink often revisit the same moment over and over. A comment someone made, a decision they made earlier in the day, a conversation that didn't go the way they expected. The mind doesn't just remember these things. It loops them, it rewatches them like a video on repeat. This isn't voluntary. The brain is searching for something. A conclusion, a reason, a resolution that often doesn't exist. The second is anticipating negative outcomes. Overthinkers don't just think about what might happen. They prepare for what could go wrong. Before a meeting, they imagine all the ways it could fail. Before a conversation, they script out every awkward possibility. This isn't pessimism. It's the brain trying to protect itself by predicting danger. But it often leads to mental exhaustion before anything has even happened. The third is difficulty making decisions. When you overthink, even small choices can feel overwhelming. Which email to send, what to say in a text, whether to go to an event or stay home. The mind pulls up every possible outcome, every way it could be misunderstood, every future scenario, and because of that, deciding becomes draining. Not because the choice is hard, but because the thinking never stops. The fourth is self-monitoring during social interactions. People who overthink are often hyper-aware of how they're being perceived. They notice their tone, their facial expressions, the pauses in conversation. They replay what they just said while the other person is still talking. This constant monitoring makes it hard to be present. The mind is split between the moment and the analysis of the moment. The fifth is seeking certainty. Overthinkers want to know. They want to understand why something happened, what it means, what comes next. They ask themselves the same questions repeatedly, hoping that if they think hard enough, they'll find the answer. But uncertainty doesn't always have a clear resolution. And the more they search, the more trapped they become in the loop. So why does overthinking happen? It's not random. The brain is designed to detect patterns and predict outcomes. In the past, this was useful. Anticipating danger kept people safe. Analyzing social cues helped them navigate complex relationships. Replaying events helped them learn from mistakes. Overthinking is the brain doing what it was built to do. But in a world where most threats are not physical, that same system can misfire. It treats uncertainty like danger. It treats ambiguity like a problem that must be solved. And it keeps running even when there's nothing left to solve. Overthinking often develops in environments where safety felt conditional, where mistakes had consequences, where being understood required constant explanation. The mind learned that thinking ahead, thinking harder, thinking longer could prevent pain. And even when that environment changes, the pattern stays. This doesn't mean overthinking is helpful now. But it does mean it made sense at some point. Your brain wasn't malfunctioning, it was adapting. It still is. If this resonated with you, you might also find it helpful to understand what happens when your mind is constantly working like this. There's another video on this channel that explains the psychology of emotional exhaustion and why your brain feels tired even when you haven't done much. It goes deeper into what happens when your nervous system stays activated for too long. Thank you for watching.